Why do we care so much about what others think? It's something nearly everyone struggles with, but most don't realize just how deeply it affects us. Did you know that the average person spends 5 years of their life worrying about how they're perceived? That's a massive chunk of time spent in fear, anxiety, and self-doubt. Here's another shocking fact. Research from the University of Michigan shows that constantly comparing yourself to others is linked to lower self-esteem and increased anxiety. But here's the good news, this doesn't have to be your reality. You can break free from this cycle and reclaim your peace of mind. In this video, we'll dive into why we care so much, how this need for approval controls us, and most importantly, how to stop it. You'll discover powerful strategies to shift your mindset and live life on your terms, not someone else's. Ready to stop the endless worry? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Anxiety Addiction. Why caring feels so natural. Have you ever wondered why you care so much about what others think? It's almost like we're wired to do it. In fact, the human brain is built to focus on social signals. According to a study by UCLA, our brains process social threats, like rejection or criticism, faster than physical pain. So, when we fear judgment, it's not just emotional, it feels like a real threat. But why is this the case? It's because, for centuries, our survival depended on being accepted by the group. In ancient times, being ostracized from the tribe could mean death. That deep-rooted fear still lingers today, even if our lives aren't at risk. We care because we subconsciously believe that being accepted helps us survive. However, here's the twist. Caring about every little opinion can lead to anxiety. When you constantly worry about how others see you, it creates mental clutter. The brain's fight or flight response is triggered, and it's exhausting. Research by Harvard shows that chronic stress from this anxiety can even shrink the brain over time. So, what's the solution? Awareness. The first step is recognizing that your brain is playing tricks on you. Start asking yourself, do I really care about this opinion, or is my brain just on autopilot? By becoming aware, you can shift your focus from external validation to internal peace. Another powerful strategy is mindfulness. It helps you stay present in the moment and reduce the anxiety that comes with worrying about the future or the past. Regular mindfulness practice can help train your brain to stay calm, even in stressful situations. Lastly, challenge your own thoughts. When you feel anxious, ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this is true? More often than not, the fear is unfounded. When you start questioning your automatic responses, you'll slowly gain control over the anxiety. Chapter 2. The Mask We Wear. Unpacking the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection is a powerful force. Ever notice how much energy you put into maintaining a certain image? Whether it's on social media or in your personal life, many of us wear a mask to avoid rejection. The truth is, we want to be liked, and we fear what might happen if we're not. This desire for approval has deep roots in human history. Psychologist Abraham Maslow described belongingness as one of the key human needs in his famous hierarchy. The need to fit in and be accepted is fundamental, but it can turn into an unhealthy obsession. Here's an interesting statistic. A study from the University of Michigan found that the average person spends about 5 years of their life worrying about what others think. That's a lot of time spent wearing a mask. So, how do we stop? Start by accepting the uncomfortable truth. Not everyone will like you. And that's okay. Once you accept this, you'll feel a huge weight lift off your shoulders. As author Brené Brown says, we can't selectively numb emotions. When we numb the painful emotions, we also numb the positive ones. You can't be truly free if you're trying to please everyone. Another effective strategy is to reframe rejection. Instead of viewing it as a personal failure, see it as a redirection. Maybe the rejection wasn't about you at all. Maybe it's simply about fit or timing. Changing your perspective on rejection can free you from its paralyzing grip. Also, focus on your values. When you live in alignment with your core values, external opinions become less significant. Instead of worrying about what others think, you'll focus on what you believe in. This shift in focus leads to greater confidence and peace of mind. And finally, practice self-compassion. Rejection is tough, but treating yourself with kindness helps you recover quickly. You wouldn't criticize a friend who faced rejection, so why do it to yourself? Chapter 3. The Comparison Trap. Why your life isn't a competition. We've all been there. Scrolling through social media, comparing ourselves to others, and wondering why we don't measure up. The comparison trap is real, and it's one of the fastest ways to spiral into self-doubt. But why do we do it? The human brain has a tendency to compare because it helps us gauge where we stand in relation to others. It's a survival instinct. However, in the modern world, this constant comparison leads to unhealthy competition, and we often judge ourselves too harshly. A study by the American Psychological Association found that people who frequently compare themselves to others are more likely to suffer from feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. This is because we tend to compare our weaknesses to others' strengths, creating a false narrative that we aren't good enough. One key strategy to stop the cycle of comparison is to focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of comparing yourself to someone else's highlight reel, track your own growth. Look at how far you've come, not how far you have to go. Another powerful approach is gratitude. Research from the University of California shows that practicing gratitude daily can significantly reduce feelings of envy. When you focus on the good things in your own life, it shifts your mindset from lack to abundance. Also, learn to embrace your unique path. Your journey is different from everyone else's, and that's exactly what makes it special. Author Mark Twain once said, "Comparison is the death of joy." The moment you stop comparing yourself to others, you open the door to true fulfillment. It's also important to remember that social media isn't reality. People post what they want you to see, not the full picture. A study by the University of Copenhagen found that people who spent more time on social media were more likely to feel dissatisfied with their lives. So, take a step back and remember that you're only seeing the curated version of someone else's life. Lastly, stop measuring your worth by external metrics. Whether it's money, success, or appearance, these things don't define who you are. Your self-worth should come from within, not from how you stack up against someone else. If you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We've got more powerful strategies coming your way. Chapter 4. The Power of Detachment. Embrace the freedom to let go. Caring about everything in your life can feel exhausting. The constant need to keep up, make others happy, or prove your worth takes its toll. One of the most effective strategies to stop this cycle is detachment. Learning to let go of things that don't serve you. Detachment doesn't mean not caring at all. Instead, it's about caring less about the things that drain you and more about what truly matters. As spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle explains in his book The Power of Now, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation but your thoughts about it. By detaching from the need to control everything, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. The key to detachment is recognizing what's within your control and what isn't. According to a study from the University of California, practicing mindfulness, like simply being aware of your thoughts, can help you separate yourself from external events. By focusing on your response rather than the situation itself, you regain control over your emotional state. A simple strategy to detach is to ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If not, it's easier to release the grip of anxiety. This simple perspective shift helps put things into perspective and reduces unnecessary worry. Another useful technique is to practice selective engagement. Rather than reacting to every situation, decide in advance where to place your energy. Whether it's choosing not to get involved in drama or saying no to extra commitments, being intentional about what you care about allows you to preserve your emotional energy. One more strategy is to practice gratitude. When you're grateful for the present moment and what you already have, the urge to constantly want or need fades away. Research from the University of Miami shows that people who practice gratitude regularly experience increased happiness and less stress. Detachment isn't about being cold or indifferent, it's about creating space for inner peace. By letting go of unnecessary attachments, you make room for deeper personal growth. Chapter 5. The Freedom Formula. Unplugging from the need to please. If you've ever felt the need to please others, you know how exhausting it can be. The constant desire to gain approval can lead you to neglect your own needs and desires. But how can you break free from this pattern? Start by recognizing why you have this need to please. A major reason people become people pleasers is the fear of conflict or rejection. According to a study by the University of Toronto, People who are overly concerned with others' approval tend to suffer from higher levels of anxiety and stress. Understanding that the desire to please is rooted in fear can help you detach from it. The first step toward breaking this habit is setting clear boundaries. When you establish limits, you stop overcommitting yourself and allow room for self-care. As author and psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud says, boundaries define who you are and who you are not. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect that frees you from the pressure of constantly saying yes. Saying no can feel uncomfortable at first, but it's a crucial skill. If you're afraid of disappointing others, remind yourself that saying no doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about your own well-being. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who said no more often had higher levels of self-esteem and were more satisfied with their lives. Another strategy is to replace the need to please with the desire to align with your values. When you make decisions based on what truly matters to you, you're less likely to feel conflicted or overextended. Instead of pleasing everyone, you please yourself by staying true to your values. Self-compassion is also key. When you stop people-pleasing, you may feel guilty at first, but practicing self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself and move forward. Dr. Kristen Neff, a leading expert on self-compassion, says, self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness, concern, and support you'd offer a good friend. Finally, surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries. Healthy relationships are built on mutual understanding, and when you stop trying to please everyone, you'll attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are. Chapter 6. The courage to be yourself. Why authenticity is the ultimate power. There's a lot of pressure to fit into a mold, especially in today's world. Whether it's online or in your personal life, being authentic often feels like a risk. But the truth is, embracing your authentic self is one of the most powerful things you can do. According to a study by the University of California, people who live authentically tend to experience greater levels of happiness and life satisfaction. When you stop pretending to be someone you're not, you align more closely with your true desires, leading to a more fulfilling life. Being authentic requires courage to stand up for your values, express your true feelings, and not be swayed by outside opinions. Author Steve Jobs once said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do." Living authentically means following your heart, even when it's difficult. One strategy to cultivate authenticity is journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings helps you get clear on who you really are, what you value, and what you want from life. According to a study by the University of Cambridge, journaling not only helps you gain clarity but also reduces stress. Another powerful tool for authenticity is self-reflection. Taking time each day to evaluate your actions and thoughts can help you stay true to yourself. Ask yourself, am I acting in line with my values? This simple practice can help you make more intentional decisions and stay grounded. It's also important to stop comparing yourself to others. As Dr. Wayne Dyer famously said, when you judge another, you do not define them, you define yourself. When you compare yourself to others, you dilute your own authenticity. You are unique, and embracing that uniqueness is where true power lies. Finally, embrace vulnerability. Being authentic means showing up as you are, flaws and all. Brené Brown, a leading researcher on vulnerability, says, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Living authentically might feel scary at first, but it's liberating. When you embrace your true self, you stop living in fear of judgment, and you start living in alignment with your purpose. Authenticity is your superpower. Don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing content. We're here to help you become the best version of yourself.